What's going on, guys? Mega Gig back with another video. Today we are taking a look at the Monk. We are on the PTR patch 2.6.1, and the first build we'll be covering is the 7-sided strike build with the Uliana's set. Now this set got buffed to the moon and back, guys. This set just got an insane amount of damage buffs. Again, with like with most of the builds we've gone over so far, not really any toughness added into this build. It's mainly just a straight up damage buff, which is welcome, but the build does kind of suffer from a little bit of lack of toughness. Now my build specifically suffers from lack of toughness. Even with these two vitality gems, I only have a 733 HP. But with that low of HP, I will show you that if the leaderboards will load. Here we go. I've already done an 85 with 11.5 minutes, or in 11.5 minutes. So this build is just exceptionally strong, guys. Like I said, this thing was buffed to the moon and back, and it's probably my favorite Monk build. It's just so much fun to play. It's pretty unique compared to a lot of other builds in the game. And yeah, so we'll get on it. There's two kind of different versions of this. This is the somewhat more tanky version, and we're going to go over the changed items. Not going to do an entire build guide video because some of these things are subject to change. Again, we're still on the PTR. When all this stuff goes live, I'll look back at my old videos and see how much has changed, and then we may just do an entire new build guide video. But for now, we're just going to go over the changes. The first thing we'll look at is Binding of the Lost, your belt. Each hit with 7-sided strike grants up to 5%, between 4 and 5% damage reduction for 7 seconds. And it used to be between 2 and 3%, I believe, something like that. So that's pretty significant. That's about a 2% buff, but it's 2% per hit. Each hit with 7-sided strike. And coupled with our Lion's Claw, 7-sided strike is now doing an additional 7 strikes. So that's 2% times 14. There you go. Keep doing the math. It just keeps going up and up, guys. Now it will depend on what yours rolls. Again, it's between 4 and 5% now. And I got lucky enough to get one that's right on 5%. The other change is the Fist of Azturesk. Exploding palms on death damage. Explosion has been increased to anywhere between 4 and 500%. I think initially it was like 200%. I can look really quick. Let me see if it says here. Yeah, it was between 250 and 300%, and now it's between 4 and 500%. And the belt was between 3 and 3.5, and now it's 4 and 5. So those are the original numbers. The new numbers now, quite a bit stronger indeed. And then, of course, the set itself, the bonuses have been changed. And let me really quick scroll down and find what the originals were. So the 4-piece set. Well, 2-piece set bonus. Every third hit of your spirit generators applies Exploding Palm. Nothing's changed there. 4-piece set, 7-sided strike deals 777% its total damage with each hit. I think that's kind of a play. That's a huge buff, but I think the numbers are kind of a play on the fact that it's a 7-sided strike. And so they just increased the number. Instead of to like 700, they just went 777. The initial was dealing at double. So all the way up to 777%. That's amazing. And then the 6-piece set bonus, the original was only 250%, and now it increases the damage of Exploding Palm by 1800%. And your 7-sided strike detonates your Exploding Palm. The second part of that has not changed. So a big, gigantic damage buff on the set. A pretty nice damage buff on the Fist of Azturesk, and then a nice toughness bonus in this in the belt. So I said there wasn't really added any toughness in this, and you guys are probably already commenting in the comment, oh, you said there wasn't any toughness or whatever. Keep watching the video. Sometimes I forget things and I readdress them later on. There was a little bit of toughness added into this build with this belt. It's still a somewhat squishy build. It just kind of depends really on your overall build. When I get this completely maxed out, and I may take a look at other people's stuff too with their builds maxed out, I'll kind of reevaluate the toughness from there. It may be actually a fairly tough build. It kind of lacks sustain because it's a lot like, what's the build I'm trying to think of? I can't remember which character it is, but you're not fighting a lot, so you don't have a lot of sustain. You're just getting in and blowing everything up, and so life on kill would be really nice. Unfortunately, we don't really have a lot. We've got 5,000, which I guess is kind of a lot. If we kill 10 things, that's 50,000 life, but still, you know, we're at 733 once we bump it up over to 1 million eventually. As for the bracers, people are going to point this out. Exploding palms, on death explosion applies exploding palm. These are very important too to help spread that around. Let's visit the cube. We have the flow of eternity here, and then we are now using convention of elements. This really buffs up your damage quite a bit when you hit the cold rune, because your exploding palm is cold. However, another option, if you're having issues with cooldown, especially on the lower levels, you can run Ring of the Zodiac, and every time you use Cyclone Strike, it will cool down your 7-sided strike as well. But it's not the greatest the ring in the world. Eventually, you're going to need to switch probably to a convention of elements to really help you push. Now, here's where you have a little bit of play, and I was talking about the bracers a second ago. You can use whatever soliloquy. Cyclone Strike reduces your damage taken by 50% for 5 seconds, which is what we're using. Or you can use Spirit Guards. Spirit Generators reduce your damage taken by 40% for 3 seconds. So this is a 10% less, or you take 10% more damage with these on for less time. Or you can use the whatever soliloquy, Lefebvre's, sound it out. These do give you more toughness and for 2 seconds longer. However, they do cost. It does cost spirit to activate these, and if you run out of spirit, you'll find yourself not able to activate this. More than likely, you won't run out of spirit. I haven't run out of spirit mainly because we're using Epiphany, and you'll pop this basically on every elite pack. If you are finding yourself elite starved and you start running out of spirit, you can go ahead and pop this because it's a 60-second cooldown. It's pretty short, and you'll just generate all your fury back up, and you're not completely spending spirit. I keep wanting to call it fury. You're not completely spending spirit on these two. You do use a spirit generator, and so it's going to kind of keep you topped off, but you will slowly dwindle down on your spirit. You'll eventually have to pop this, but it's not a big deal. So that is basically the build we are using. We'll go over the skills really fast. Way of the 100 Fists, Assimilation to increase our damage, Cyclone Strike, and Implosion. And we are using the Implosion rune to increase the distance that we pull enemies away, because we're going to want enemies really bunched up to get that exploding palm applied on them and have that area damage go off on everything that's around us. 7-sided strike, sustained attack, and reduce the cooldown to 14 seconds. This comes in really handy with our flow of eternity, which decreases the cooldown by 60%. So it basically makes this only have like a 2-second cooldown, I think, right around there. So it's really quick. Dashing Strike, Blinding Speed, gain 40% increase dodge chance for 4 seconds after using Dashing Strike. And then Epiphany, Desert Shroud for more toughness. Exploding Palm, Impending Doom. This is about the strongest rune on here. Exploding Palm no longer causes enemies to bleed, but if the enemy dies while affected by Exploding Palm, they explode, dealing 6,300% weapon damage as cold, as compared to the 2,700% exploding damage on just the base. So it's triple the exploding damage there, which is really what we need. We're not focusing on the bleed as much. For passes, we're using Mythic Rhythm, Beacon of Yitar, Harmony and Near-Death Experience. If you find yourself tough enough and you don't really need either of these, you can go with Guardian's Path is kind of another toughness one, which we are dual wielding, so we'll gain 35% dodge chance. You can also use Determination. Each enemy within 12 yards increases your damage by 4% up to a maximum of 20%. So keep that in mind just for some other options. And I believe that is the build. We are running a Unity with our Scoundrel, and of course we have his token where he cannot die. I did say in the beginning, this is the tougher version of the build. The more damage version of the build, you will swap out your Traveler's Pledge. You'll swap out this set, and you will go with the Ancient Focus and Restraint set, and you'll be increasing your damage even more, because you won't be losing the damage while moving. However, of course, you will take more damage because you're not getting that that damage reduction while moving. And then you'll want to wear a Hellfire Amulet in its place. It doesn't have to be this one. It's just whatever Hellfire Amulet. Probably go with another toughness. Say run these two, and then also get something like the Guardian's Path on your Hellfire Amulet or whatever to make yourself tougher. That being said, the last thing we're going to go over real quick is the gems: Bane of the Stricken, Bane of the Trapped, and Gogok of Swiftness. You're going to want that dodge chance, of course, from this. You're also going to want that extra cooldown reduction, again, because we want to keep Seven-Sided Strike up as much as possible. And that's about it, guys. Yeah, I believe that is about it. You can see neither of these gems, both of these are in the 50s. This gem is in the 60s, and I already did an 85. We're going to go ahead and do an 85 now. Alright guys, sorry I had to redo that. The PTR, man. Connection issues and whatnot. Alright, so let's try this again. Dash in the middle of everything. Pop your Epiphany, especially if you're on an Elite Pack. Generally, you'll save your Epiphany for an Elite Pack. One thing I did forget to mention in the build, we're going to need to get out of here, is you do want to have an Oculus Ring on your follower. It's super easy to get enemies into the Oculus Ring. Man, what is going on here? I feel like I'm still lagging or something. Because with your Cyclone Strike, you can dash to your Oculus Ring, then you can pull enemies into the Oculus Ring, and yeah, just like that. And so Oculus Ring works very, very well on this build. And of course, mixed with your Ring of Elements. And alright, we killed 2 packs there. We killed 2 pack. You do want to be super aware of ranged packs. They are going to murder you like always. And I probably didn't need to hit a potion there. I kind of panicked. That happens from time to time. Do you guys ever hit potions and panic? Alright. Speed Shrine. Make sure you get that Exploding Palm applied. Every now and then your Oculus Ring is kind of out of position where it's not really going to do you a lot of good to go to. But overall with this build, especially being a melee build, it's pretty easy considering to get enemies into the Oculus ring. You can see there, I just pulled them in. And don't be afraid to use your Epiphany. Again, that thing is on a pretty short cooldown. I mean, 60 seconds isn't super short, but compared to a lot of things, it is. Compared to a lot of more important skills on other builds, and we're kind of stuck there. And we may die here. Yep, we did die. Man, being stuck on that wall kind of threw me off there. Oops, that was not good at all. wasted everything. Get out! Ah! No! Crowd control is not your friend in this build because you cannot hit your 7-sided strike. Now let's get back in it here. If you see you're on a physical roll and you've got everything lined out perfect, make sure you go ahead and wait that extra second to get to the cold roll, because especially if you're in your Oculus ring, you're going to do so much more damage, and it is worth the wait. Yeah, here, we'll go ahead and wait that extra second, and then we'll pop our 7-sided strike and move on. So what do you guys think of this build? Is this a build you enjoy? Are you glad it got buffed? Like I said earlier, this is probably my most favoritist monk build. And there is an elite pack up here. It's a Juggernaut. That's why I'm not pulling him in. Oh man, that electricity. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And we might just leave this guy. I don't really want to leave him. No, there we go. We just about got him. With a lot of barbarian builds and some monk builds in particular, you don't have to skip juggernauts. They are supposed to. You can't CC them, but you are supposed to do, I think, like 20-30% more damage to them or something. Which it doesn't really feel like it most of the time, but and I guess we're supposed to go this way. No? Maybe up? Ah, here we go. Oh man, that electricity hurts so much. Remember, I do only have a little over 700k health. So it does not take long to burn through my pool of HP if I'm in the wrong position. And when Epiphany is down, you can really take a lot of damage. One more because our cold roll is coming up. Should be enough. Nope. There we go. Let's pick up these health globes too. It'd be nice if there was a little more density. And then look, as soon as I call for density, there it is. was hoping we'd get a better positioning than that on our... Alright, shield shrine, perfect. You'll still want to hit Epiphany even with a shield shrine, because again, you want to keep that spirit topped off, because you will find yourself burning through spirit rather quickly. It's not the heaviest spirit build, I don't think, but it does use it. And another illusionist. Now these guys aren't shielded or anything, but they don't seem to be taking a lot of damage. Ah, that's why I forgot, these guys like to disappear into nothingness. And our shield shrine is up. I hate these packs so much that disappear into nothingness. And there, we should have waited for our cold. Should have waited for our cold shrine. Let's get some enemies over here. Really? You had to knock them away? I didn't want them knocked away. There's another enemy, the lizard-looking lady thing, will disappear into nothingness for a while, and it's really annoying. It's just as bad as shielding, honestly. Man, would this guy die already? Stop disappearing on me! Is that the end of the floor? Nope. Another elite. Not a whole lot of density on this level. Ended up dying even with Epiphany up. There hasn't been a lot of enemies at all here. Kind of wait out for our Epiphany to come back up for a second. Oh, there we go. You do still want to be hitting your Cyclone Strike again to reduce your damage taken, even if you don't have other enemies around you to pull in. But remember not to hit it too often, because you'll burn through all of your spirit when your Epiphany is down. You can also use your Cyclone Strike to dodge things, if, in case you're unaware, you do become untargetable during that time. And darn, I was hoping that Oculus Ring would wait, and we might actually die here. We should get saved by our cheat death at least. Oh, we still died. This is not a good... Ow, stop it. With this build, a Greater Rift Guardian that summons a lot of things would be really nice, but not these things. These things hurt, and they don't really bunch up, so there's not a whole lot you can do to them when it comes to bunching up. Again, this build does rely a lot on area damage. Aw, we just missed our cold. Our cold roll in our Oculus Ring. And darn, we died again. Yeah, these things really, really hurt. Not the greatest of floors. And this Rift Guardian's really annoying. But again, my gear, I've only got 733 HP, and a lot of my gear was not rolled as good as it should be. Also, when you get enemies spread out a lot like that, you'll notice that your 7-sided strike doesn't focus right there. It will really spread out. And oh darn, I thought I teleported. Oh no! And are we going to be able to teleport back to town? Ah! Yeah, we're going to have to heal. And it won't actually do the damage bunched up. So this makes for an interesting video. Healer, heal me. Alright, we'll get back there. No worries. And I think that's part of the problem. I wasn't paying attention. It's part of the thing I was running into. Those spinny deals were spread out, and so my 7-sided strike would bounce all around and not actually focus the damage. That's why I wasn't doing that much damage. So good lesson in that failure. But we still ended up doing it with 1 minute and 4 seconds to spare, even though that floor was not good. The first floor was pretty good, actually. That floor, not so much. But we did finish it on the second floor, so overall, not a terrible rift. Terrible Rift Guardian. But anyways, guys, what do you guys think of this build and the changes? Many of you may play Monk or main Monk, and maybe you main this build. If you do, let me know, any tips and tricks that you guys use. But that is the Uliana's Exploding Palm build and the changes on the PTR. Let's hope this makes it to live, because this is really, really nice. Again, it'd be nice if there was some kind of toughness added into the actual set itself, but this is a nice change. Definitely nice and welcome change. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like and a comment down below, and subscribe, guys, if you want to see more. Thanks, and more good stuff to come. Take care.